This is Maura Carey with the 813, and I'm here with 3 takeaways from the Bucs' explosive 51-27 victory over the New Orleans Saints. Let's get into it. 3 takeaways, starting with the next man up. I mean, if this isn't the theme of the Bucs season. We've seen this time and time again, and this theme is only continuing this week as the next man up was called on and relied on heavily in today's outing. Starting with Robert Hainsey filling in for an injured Graham Barton at center. Next up, we had Tyreek Funderburk filling in mid-game for Jamel Dean, who went down with an injury. But finally, the big one, of course, is Rachaad White was ruled out of this week's outing with an injury. Everybody was assuming that Bucky Irving would take the majority of snaps, which he did, and Bucky Irving did his thing with 81 rushing yards and a rushing touchdown. But it was Sean Tucker who really stepped up with 136 rushing yards, a rushing touchdown, 56 receiving yards, and a receiving touchdown. The first touchdown of his career, 2-touchdown outing for Sean Tucker, dominated the run game. So the next man up played a big role in this victory for the Buccaneers. Next up, we're going to take a little step sideways and look at something that probably wouldn't have worked out for the Bucs if they weren't able to respond offensively, which was the insane numbers of penalties. The Bucs were penalized 12 times today for a loss of 86 yards, handing 86 yards to the Saints, and it showed. The Saints were able to pull ahead in the second quarter. After the Bucs were up 17-0 in the first quarter, the Saints were able to take the lead and lead 27-24 at halftime. The Bucs did eventually bounce back late in the third quarter and then really pulled ahead, put their foot on the gas pedal in the fourth quarter to pull ahead finally and secure that victory. But 12 penalties can't happen moving forward. But it was, that being said, third takeaway, a dominant and historic offensive outing for the Bucs. The Bucs had their third most rushing yards in franchise history, 277 yards. As I said, 81 of those belonged to Bucky Irving, 136 belonged to Sean Tucker, and Baker Mayfield, of course, did his thing on foot as well. Fantastic running game for the Buccaneers, but that's not it. 51 points scored. That's the second most in franchise history. And Baker Mayfield dispersed the wealth throughout the offense. He spread the wealth. He hit Kate Otten for a touchdown. Bucky Irving scored a touchdown. Chris Godwin scored 2 receiving touchdowns. And, of course, we have Sean Tucker, who scored 2 receiving touchdowns as well. Sterling Shepard got involved. He is to credit for a few of those penalties. But the Bucs had a great offensive day. A historic offensive outing. Those were 3 takeaways from the Bucs' 51-27 victory over the New Orleans Saints. It was a must-win, and the Bucs delivered. This is Maura Carey with the 813. Be sure to check out our site in the meantime, and I will see you on the next one.